Yeah, what we're looking at right now, this is the footage, of course, from the Concorde scenes where we're in the Speedbird hangar, and they've grounded a Concorde jet. And we're working in the interior of that jet, which is, as you can imagine, a pretty small cabin by compared to, well, let's say a jumbo jet most people are familiar with. This is an executive jet that shuttles people at supersonic speeds across the Atlantic and so on. And these are leather chairs, and very comfortable, much like what you'd find in a Jaguar sedan. But we had to remove 2 rows of seats so that we could seat Patrick in his position and have all our gear and whatnot, lights and cameras, so on. What we're looking at right now, we're looking at the scene, which is the opening scene, and Russ Lindsay. Russell is our director, and he did a tremendous job working with Patrick. And these people, be they extras or indeed the stewardess, for example, were supplied to us by British Airways.
Okay, so camera's rolling, and just have a look out the window. Everyone standing by, and action.
Thank you. I'm doing a television program on Royal Doulton. Fine china people.
Really? Did you know that lunch has been served?
That's more suspicious.
Okay, we'll do that one more time. So goodbye.
Thank you.
Mr. Macnee, are you going to London on business or pleasure?
I'm doing a television program on Royal Doulton. The fine china people.
Really? Did you know your lunch is being served on Royal Doulton?
Ah, there's a more auspicious beginning.
So what was in your mind when you were filming Patrick Macnee on the Concorde?
I tell you, it was a pretty moving experience for a plane that didn't move.
Yeah, this is Lambeth, and what I'm doing, I'm on the phone here and trying to arrange for the rental of a dolly that we are going to see in the very next shot, which is a tracking dolly shot outside this particular pub called the Windmill. And you know, it's so great because you're in London and these buildings are historic buildings, and the people are just enjoying everyday life in London. This is around lunchtime, and this is Louise Irvine, of course. Now Louise is the co-host of the Royal Doulton Story, and she's a famous historian.
I imagine there have been a lot of changes in Lambeth since John Doulton's day.
Oh yes, enormous changes. But we know how it used to look, because the Doulton artist painted some lovely tile panels showing this street a century ago.
Yeah.
And in the archive we also have some interesting old photographs showing how it all used to be.
Pretty marvellous.
And now we're down the embankment. This is right on the Thames. The idea with the embankment shot is that Patrick and Louise are going to take a ride by boat.
In fact, we sit down at a restaurant, I tell you, it's like musical chairs. Oh, the air conditioner can't stand that, can't stand the other. Ridiculous.
Yeah, this is Harrods. It's an exquisite place to shop. If you've got that kind of income, you can certainly spend it at Harrods. The exterior of Harrods is entirely clad with Doulton tiles.
Thank you for showing me around, Stuart.
My pleasure, Mr. Macnee. Where are you off to now?
Well, all this food has made me hungry. I'm putting on the writ. Oh. Let's try it again. We all make mistakes. Thank you, Stuart, for showing me around.
My pleasure, Mr. Macnee. Where are you off to now?
Well, all this food has made me hungry. I'm putting on the Ritz.
This is the general manager of the Ritz. Patrick, in this scene, is coming to the Ritz Hotel to have his luncheon, and then he's going to make the statement that he would like to visit the potteries up at Stoke-on-Trent. This is all gilded with 14-karat gold, and that's, you know, real gold. And the interior of the Ritz is absolutely stunning.
Say when. Now don't tell me. Royal Doulton.
Yes, sir. Finest mold china in the world.
Really?
And we've been using it for years. It's made up in Stoke.
Stoke-on-Trent?
That's right, sir.
No, I haven't been in the potteries for years. I think it was, yeah, it was a Midsummer Night's Dream for the old Vic. 1954.
Oh, well, I think the factory's been there a bit longer than that, sir.
Oh. Well, I'll tell you something. I'm going to go to Stoke tomorrow and see the factory. But I'll have dinner first, if you don't mind.
Right, this is the Victoria and Albert Museum.
Royal Doulton Story. The guest presenter is Patrick Macnee. Would you know him? Remember him?
I do. From the Avengers.
That's right.
I must admit, not from the original transmission, but I have seen it in repeats.
Well, he's going to be. You're going to be seeing him aired in the near future. A lot of the networks are picking up the story, and a whole new generation is being exposed to the classic scenes of the Avengers and so on.
I think the classic ones are best.
Now this is the other side of the embankment, where you see Russ directing Patrick and Louise. And we had beautiful weather there. It was just splendid. It was in the summertime, and you're taking your chances when you go to England, because it could be warm or it could be cool, especially near the ocean. But the whole time we were there, we just had brilliant sunshine.
It's such a beautiful day. Why don't we go by boat?
Just as they did in the past.
We did a lot of work in a variety of different situations: boat, car, plane, train, airplane. You know, this piece has a lot of movement. The idea was to give the viewers a variety.
Certainly keeps it interesting.
And Patrick was in the Navy. You know, he was a decorated naval officer. Has had quite a colorful life, as you can imagine. And he makes some wonderful humor about those times of his life when he has the opportunity.
We're coming about. See, I like a man who knows his naval terms. None of that we're turning around, we're going upstairs and downstairs, up, top, down. We're coming about.
Give us a wave,
Now this is downtown in Piccadilly.
Hello, Mom.
Traveling around by taxi. And then this scene here is the Greyhound pub.
You can find Royal Doulton character and Toby jokes like this in pubs all around the country.
Well, it certainly creates a jovial atmosphere.
Well, yes, they've been a long time associated with pubs, really, since the 18th century. And it was Charles Noak earlier this century who decided to revive the tradition.
Well, here's to Charles Noak.
Oh, absolutely.
God bless him.
Cheers to Charles.
Cheers to Charles, I like.
Okay, one more time, please.
This is the factory in at Nile Street, and in Burslem. And the Nile Street Pottery is probably the best known because of its the museum is there, and a lot of people who travel to England and go up to the potteries in the Midlands would come here to this particular factory in this location if they wanted to view the museum and some of the unusual pieces that it contains. Yeah, here's a camera going inside the oven to get baked. Patrick was always very generous and good-natured about his time and his fans. And here's a fan who's getting a signature, an autograph, and thanking Patrick. Patrick said he wondered who that man was with that ridiculous hat.
Nice to see you. God bless you, Pete.
Yes.
All the best. Thank you.
Excuse me.
Mike, can you stop again?
Can you go one more time? Can you do it one more time for me? Yeah.
Oh, go on. Go backwards and forwards. Oh, go on. Come on, Mike. Come on, Mike.
Mutiny! Mutiny!
Come on, Mike.
Mutiny!
Now, this particular shot was taken inside a mansion in Beverly Hills in Hollywood.
Now, hold on just a sec. Right.
Well, the Royal Doulton Story appears to have gained the status of a historical record because since this documentary was filmed, many of the pieces in the various collections illustrated have since been sold to other collectors around the world.
Wow, that's really quite interesting, but again, it illustrates the fact that, you know, these prestigious companies like Royal Doulton, you know, it's a very fluid and dynamic industry, and that this art is only going to go up in value. And it was a pleasure to work with Louise Irvine and also with Patrick Macnee and others of the Royal Doulton staff and management in bringing the story to collectors of Royal Doulton and fans of Patrick Macnee worldwide.
Well, thank you, Dave. It's been a pleasure working with you and a pleasure to be able to contribute some small part to this very exciting production.
Thanks very much.